This lad wants to ascend the throne of ancient Greece, but to do that he needs the Golden Fleece. Watch the film Jason and the Argonauts to learn where he can take it and how it can be used. A Greek priest addresses the chief god Zeus and asks him to reveal the future. The old man says that he sees the gold fleece hanging on a giant tree placed at the edge of the world. He also tells the warrior Pelias that today he will win the battle, dethrone his brother King Aeson, and ascend the throne. Pelias grabs his sword and rushes to his brother's palace with his warriors. A fierce fight ensues. The king's army fights bravely, however, the traitor has more warriors and soon they break into the palace. We see a young woman with a baby in her arms who rushes to the statue of goddess Hera. She is Aeson's older daughter. Alas, soon Pelias finds her and lifts his sword up. A priestess enters the scene in a black cloak and warns the tyrant that Aeson's son Jason will take revenge on him for the betrayal. The next scene takes place at Mount Olympus, where the gods live. Hera turns to her husband Zeus and demands revenge. She wants to help Jason, and Zeus agrees with his wife. 20 years go by. Pelias nearly drowns because of Hera's mischief, but he gets saved by an unfamiliar lad, who while saving him loses one of his sandals. The king knows that according to the legend he will be defeated by a person wearing only one sandal, and this scares him a lot. Cunning Pelias takes the lad to his camp and invites him to watch a performance of Greek dancers. Our hero says his name. It's Jason, and he has arrived here to reclaim his throne and punish Pelias. Then the treacherous king says that first Jason needs to travel to the edge of the world and find the legendary Golden Fleece that has magical properties. After that, the people will understand that he is the true king, and then he will be able to fight with Pelias. The naive lad agrees to this. Jason finds a fallen statue of god Hermes among the ruins. A local priest wants to restore the lad's belief in the gods. Turns out, this is Hermes himself, and he is capable of performing different miracles. Meanwhile, Zeus and Hera play war on Olympus, using warrior figurines as if they were playing chess. Hermes walks up to Zeus and shows him small Jason on the palm of his hand. He looks like a real dwarf among the gods. Hera tells Jason that he needs to look for the Golden Fleece in the land of Clochis. Zeus offers Jason a ship and a crew. However, the lad refuses, because he wants to do everything himself rather than be a toy in the hands of gods. Jason organizes different competitions in order to select the best warriors and sailors. He needs the strongest, most agile and brave men capable of enduring long sailing. A warrior named Heracles joins his team. A soldier named Hylas challenges the legendary champion, because he is confident that intellect will triumph over strength. They have to toss a disc and hit the cliff in the sea with it. Heracles is the first to do it, and he does it pretty well. Hylas makes the disc glide over the sea and it flies even farther than that of Heracles. The gods on Olympus watch this competition with curiosity. Seems like they also root for Hylas. Jason goes aboard a giant ship, on which they will sail in search of the Golden Fleece. The ship is named Argo after its builder Argus. They install a statue of Jason's protector, the great Hera, on the stern. Jason's team sets sail. This is a long and arduous journey, and the sailors will get very tired. They are running out of drinking water on the ship. Jason turns to Hera for help. The goddess warns him that there is a traitor on the ship who serves Pelias. Hera says that soon their ship will arrive at an island with lots of weapons and treasure. But they will have to be careful, because this is the Island of Temptations. Jason asks his sailors to take nothing more than food and water from the island. The sailors are unhappy because they crave women. Indeed, soon the land can be seen on the horizon, and the ship docks at the shore. Heracles and Hylas notice a herd of wild goats between the cliffs. They run after them, however for some reason they can't catch them. The men find a large variety of statues of different gods, and among them is a statue of Titan, Talos. They get inside a footstool of the statue and find an enormous treasure chamber there. Heracles wants to take a silver javelin, however the door to the treasure chamber suddenly shuts. They manage to get out of there with difficulty. Suddenly, Talos turns his head and lifts up his sword. Heracles and Hylas rush away from the giant. The rest of the crew waits for them at the shore. In an instant, giant Talos shows up behind the cliffs. The sailors try to escape from the Titan. They hurry to the ship and row with all their might away from the shore. Talos goes round the island and stands in their way with a weapon in his hand. He lifts up their ship like a toy, and the sailors fall into the sea. Talos breaks the sails and tosses the statue of Hera into the sea. Then he throws the ship wreckage into the sea. Jason finds the statue of Hera and asks her to help again. The goddess advises him to fight Talos not with his strength, but with his wits and to focus on his ankles. The sailors reach the shore. A storm breaks out and they are very exhausted. Talos appears to them again. The men run towards the cliffs and try to distract the Titan. In the meantime, Jason looks carefully at his ankles. He notices a big lever resembling a nail and turns it. Thick smoke comes out of there. Jason opens the lid and a bright red liquid starts pouring out of Talos' foot. The Titan drops his weapon and grips his throat. A minute later, he gets covered in cracks and falls to the ground. He drops right on Hylas, who didn't manage to escape. The lad got unlucky. Jason's team is repairing the ship and returns the statue of Hera to its place. We learn that they didn't find Hylas neither dead nor alive. Heracles starts searching for him because it's he who is to blame for what happened. The sailors refuse to set sail without Heracles. Jason asks Hera for advice again. The goddess warns him that this is the last time when she can help him. She advises that the Argonauts wait neither for Hylas nor for Heracles, and to set sail to Phrygia and find a blind man whose name is Phineus. The ship sails and many days and nights later it arrives at Phrygia. There really is a blind priest. A harmful harpy hovers over him. Seems like this man isn't really blind and only pretends to be such. Another harpy hovers over him, and the old man fights them off in rage with a stick. The harpies take away his stick and topple the table. At this moment, Jason and the Argonauts arrive at the shore. They notice the harpies and the winged monsters fly away. Jason finds Phineus and the old man promises to help find him the golden fleece, but only if Jason saves him from the harpies. Jason agrees and along with the Argonauts he ambushes the monsters. When the harpies show up, Phineus fights them off desperately and Jason with his people round up the flying monsters with a huge net. The warriors attack the harpies with spears and throw the net over them. The harpies fall to the ground. Jason orders to bring a wooden cage. The monsters are defeated. Out of gratitude, Phineus tells the Argonauts how to reach Colchis. They need to sail through very narrow and dangerous cliffs. The old man gives Jason his amulet. Jason says goodbye to Phineus and hits the road. The Argonauts sail for 5 more days, and finally reach the cliffs the old man spoke of. The waters are quite shallow, and they have to be extra careful. The ship halts before a narrow passage. Another ship appears before them. Right when it starts passing through this passage, huge stones fall on it from the cliffs. The ship sinks. When the stones stop falling, Jason gives the order to sail through the same passage. It's very dangerous, but there is no other way. The gods watch this with curiosity. The ship approaches the passage. Huge stones start falling from the cliffs. Seems like this is the end. Jason tears the amulet gifted to him by Phineus off his neck and throws it into the sea. At this moment, Poseidon himself with a huge fishtail rises from the sea. He holds the cliffs and allows the Argonauts to swim through this dangerous passage. The sailors row with all their strength, and Poseidon, having completed his mission, returns to the depths of the sea. Hera is surprised that Zeus decided to help Jason. The chief god explains that he doesn't want to constantly punish everyone in order not to lose the respect and loyalty of his subjects. At this moment, Jason notices a beautiful young woman in the sea and swims into the sea in order to save her. The man gives her a glass of wine and learns that she is from Clochis. Her name is Medea. The ship reaches the shore of Clochis at sunset. Jason asks the Argonauts to stay aboard and he wants to head to the city to spy it out. The warrior named Acastus is against the idea and lifts up his sword against his master. A duel begins and Jason gets injured. However, Jason grabs a spear and makes his opponent jump off the ship. One of his Argonauts jumps after him. Acastus, however, defeats him and disappears into the sea. At dawn, Medea treats Jason's wound with a special flower and returns to the temple. There she performs a ritual dance with the other priestesses. Jason watches them with curiosity. At this moment, they both start falling in love with each other. The king of Clochis, Aeetes, enters the temple. Turns out Medea is his daughter. Jason walks to him, and the king invites him and the other sailors to a feast. A lavish banquet is held at his palace, and everyone raises a goblet for Jason and the Argonauts. However, the king Aeetes knows that Jason has arrived to get the golden fleece. The ruler of Clochis warns him that he will never give up the treasure. Jason is surprised that the king knows about his plans. Acastus enters the scene and smiles contently. Turns out he is the betrayer, and he is Pelias, his own son. Medea turns to goddess Hecate for advice. She is in love with Jason and is ready to betray her country for him. At night, the young woman takes a key from the security guard and sets Jason free. She asks her beloved to leave Clochis, but our hero refuses to leave without the golden fleece. Then the princess agrees to help him if he takes her with him to his country. Jason and Medea set free the other Argonauts and ask them to return to the ship. King Aeetes gets informed that all the security guards are sleeping and the Argonauts have escaped. The ruler of Clochis immediately orders to dispatch all his warriors and sends a ship in the pursuit of Jason. In the meantime, Acastus shows up near the Golden Fleece. Apparently, he wants it too. Soon, Jason finds the tree with the magical fleece and grabs the treasure. A hydra with 7 heads comes out. She holds injured Acastus with her giant tail. Medea rushes in and sees that Jason is attacked by Hydra. The man fights bravely, but the Hydra is very strong. She grabs Jason and throws him against the ground. Jason, however, does defeat her with his sharp sword. Several Argonauts rush towards Jason and warn him about the danger. They take the Golden Fleece and hurry to the ship while Clochis' warriors chase after them. King Aeetes asks goddess Hecate to take revenge on the thieves, and at this moment the Hydra's body starts burning. Only her skeleton is left. The warriors grab the Hydra's teeth and take them to the king. One of the best archers in Clochis injures Medea. Jason puts the golden fleece on the young woman's body because it has curative properties. The fleece starts glowing and Medea gets well. However, the army of Clochis is very close. King Aeetes catches up with Jason and shows him the Hydra's teeth. He throws them on the ground, and soon, skeletons with weapons appear in the place of each tooth. Aeetes orders the skeletons to attack. Jason and 2 more Argonauts heroically fight off the undead. They are strong warriors, however the skeletons fight well and 2 defeat one of the Argonauts. Jason is forced to jump into the sea from a cliff. The skeletons jump after him, but they can't fight in water. Hera smiles as she looks at Jason kissing his beloved Medea. It seems like she has won. However, Zeus replies that the game is not over yet.